Hello, good afternoon. And today, Leanne Jones has kindly agreed to join me to talk about her experience of learning NLP with Above Beyond, with me as a trainer. So hi, Leanne, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for your time today. And yeah, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? What do you do?
I work full-time. I'm a single mum, and I got into personal development from coaching, where I discovered NLP, and from that, learning NLP, or a little bit about NLP at the time, that piqued my interest. And from that, I would love to go into coaching and use the NLP techniques in the future. So yeah, that's the main goal.
Okay. So what made you decide to train with Above Beyond, first of all, in the first place?
It was yourself. I seen yourself interviewing a lady that I worked with before, Zoe. It was on Twitter, and watching the video and how you came across your knowledge and your attention to detail, your personality, your vibe. So that's when I looked into your teaching, and that's obviously when I reached out and made contact with yourself. But yeah, it was seeing yourself on an interview. It was quite a long interview on Twitter.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. So it's kind of worth getting out there in the public eye then, isn't it? For all of us when we're promoting our business. What was your actual experience of doing the training? And I know you split it into two halves. What was your experience?
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was jam-packed with content, but it was just so interesting. And when I say it was jam-packed, it was, but there was plenty of breaks as well, so it wasn't overwhelming. And I think the split from doing the actual work on the day and doing some homework and the preparation beforehand was brilliant. But you kept me in touch with what to expect. It was excellent communication and that beforehand as well. So, and I found that if I didn't quite understand what you were teaching there, you like to make sure that your people that you are training understands exactly what you are teaching. So there's no problem whatsoever to ask yourself to clarify in that, because you like to make sure that it's totally understood. So yeah, I loved it. Highly recommend it.
I'm so glad you did love it, and you were a very, very enthusiastic student. And yeah, as I said, always a pleasure to ask the questions, of course, but always a pleasure to be able to answer the questions in a way that each individual person can really get to grips with the understanding. What can I ask you? What part of the training did you most like? What section of it? What technique perhaps, or what part? Yeah, what part of the learning?
It's a hard one, to be honest with you, because I enjoyed so much. To narrow it down to one, there was loads of different techniques, because obviously you're going to have your favorites, and I had quite a few favorites. But if I was to choose, I think it is the timeline therapy, because how impactful that was on me personally, to be able to remove the emotion from like past difficulties or past traumas, and to take away what you have learned, to focus on that. But it's removing the emotion, so it takes the sting completely out of past difficulties and traumas and that, and learning as well that is part of the unconscious mind. The prime directive of that is to remove the emotion, because it wants to preserve the body, so it wants to help you in that aspect. So yeah, it was removing the emotions from past traumas.
So timeline therapy.
Vanilla, loads of it, but if I have to choose one, I would say that part.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And you mentioned you intend to use your skills in your coaching. So what plans have you, and what plans have you got for moving forward with regards to that?
With regards to my coaching and the NLP, I want to master more of the techniques. I know the techniques and that, but I want to master them even more for myself personally, to be a role model, so to speak, for my son as well. And for a professional level, when I do go into coaching, which is in the very near future, I will be learning to be a huge part of my coaching is the NLP techniques, because I know how powerful they are. So to help other beautiful souls and for them to learn just how powerful NLP is and the impact that it can have on them, on their life personally, on their life in general, and obviously the knock-on effect on their friends and family as well. For them to,
I was going to say, absolutely. You're really like focusing is the ripple effect that it can have.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, what would you say? What effect has NLP had on you as a person?
On me personally, it's given me massive hope, massive optimism, and I say massive because it is massive, and that the impact it's had on me already, I can see the difference in myself with regards to the self-belief that I've gained, confidence I've gained in achieving my goals, knowing that I am capable of doing what I set out to achieve. And I think it's my perception on myself and on life in general as well. I'm not so narrow focused, narrow minded. It's more the peripheral vision of it and looking at the bigger view. So yeah, I've certainly enjoyed it.
It's lovely to hear how much you've developed yourself as a person and how much you recognize that in yourself.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So what would you say to someone who is considering learning NLP, or perhaps who is a little bit on the fence, who's not quite sure that they're going to get benefit from it? What would you say to them?
I would say 100% go for it. Face fears like I did. I faced my fears and I went for it because it's new. It's only natural that you maybe would have some fears or apprehensions, but 100% go for it. The impact it's had on myself and my perception of myself, my perception of my abilities, my perception of life in general as well, because you learn about how other people view life and what they call the map of the world as well. But I mean, once you learn these techniques and you can implement them when you need them, when you face it, maybe a challenge coming up or you've got an interview coming up, you can use these techniques and implement them whenever you need them. And you've got these tools and techniques for the rest of your life. So it's not just the impact of doing the course and the training beforehand, and obviously at the time doing the course, it's for the rest of your life as well. You've got these tools and techniques.
So would you say in a way that it's that NLP just becomes part of you, it's part of the way you look at the world?
Yeah, I've said that before. Yes, 100%. Yes, it's a way of being for the rest of your life, not just your training. You implement them and you use these tools and techniques, and it will be transforming, life transforming.
Brilliant, because that's what I always encourage people to go away with, is that NLP is not something you pick up or you put away in a box and then take out occasionally when you suddenly really need it. It's something that's with you all of the time in your thinking.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So is there anything else you want to add about the training that you've had or your experience? Yeah.
I would say, like to say, if anybody does have any fears or apprehensions, then just to reach out to Fenella and speak with Fenella about it. There's no silly question. And doing the course and that, it really does open up your mind to a different way of thinking, a different way of being. And the people that you will meet on the course as well. And the knowledge and that Fenella has is completely admirable. I don't think there's anything that Fenella doesn't, in my experience personally, that Fenella doesn't know, because whatever question I've had, Fenella have answered, but answered in depth as well. So you're constantly learning. But I would say, yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough. It is going to be the way of being for me for the rest of my life as well. But yeah, it's so powerful and so impactful. NLP, and it works. A lot of the techniques works immediately, so you can boost your confidence immediately, your self-belief immediately. And other techniques then is more longer term, that you'll have the feel and have the changes in a few days or a few weeks and that. But a lot of the techniques is straight away change, but it's just so powerful, so impactful. I love it. And
well,
you can
thank you thank you so much for your really kind words about me. I kind of like blushing about that. And also thank you, I'm so pleased that you found great value from learning NLP. And I do remember you saying at the end of your prac first time, is NLP is my way of life now, and that really stayed in my mind. So yeah, I'm really appreciative of you giving your time today, Leanne. It's lovely to see you, lovely to speak to you, and yeah, I hope you I'm going to be watching your journey with excitement.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, thank you so much.
That's okay.